Hi there, Theresa here from theresamonroe.com, and I'm excited to be back. I wanted to talk to you guys about something. There's so many topics, so it's nice to be back filming. For those of you that don't know, I have quite a few of my topics that are in my email list. So if you want to join my email list and you want to hear first about topics and you like the written word, look in my description box down below. But I want to talk to you guys about ascension symptoms. This has been a video I've wanted to make for a really long time. When it comes to ascension symptoms, typically it's related to a health situation. We're headed into a time though when we no longer have ascension symptoms at all. And that's been coming up for a while. And there's a number of people that don't really have them too much. The main one that I've seen for some people has been around sleep, just because the light that's streaming in now is so high. It'll come in at certain hours and things like that. There are people that do amazing meditations to help you get back to sleep. Certain like playlists and things that you can listen to on Spotify. But when it comes to ascension symptoms, one of the things that I've wanted to talk about is there would be people that would have like vertigo, or like vertigo was a really big one. And part of what I was seeing was that there's people that had underlying, because I can see in the body. So these are things you need to go get verified with your doctor, of course. First, you need to see a medical practitioner before you do anything else. But one of the things that I always heard was, there would be, this big amount of light and it would cause like physical symptoms. But I would see and take a look at it and look at the collective and notice that a lot of people that were having them had underlying medical conditions that were getting agitated by the amount of light that were coming in that caused the symptoms at the exact same time as the upgrades were happening. So it wasn't like, you're going to get vertigo. It was like, certain clients, come to find out through their doctor, had viral conditions, and the light was coming in and their symptoms came in, and it was things like vertigo that was coming up. And I'm not just talking about dizziness, but like the whole thing spinning. That's if you look into the medical medium's work, he talks about all of that in vertigo and things like that. There's different types of ascension symptoms that you can get. The most I've really ever seen for somebody who's healthy is people would be sleepy, or sometimes have a hard time sleeping at night, or if they're ascending very, very fast, the most I've ever seen is some slight like agitation, because the light is integrated into the cells and the DNA is upgrading even further, and the abilities are integrating and things like that. So there's other things that can come with it, but the good news is that I wanted to share is we're headed into a time where there's no ascension symptoms at all. And one of the last things is basically sleep. Because there's been times where I get texts and I'm like, well, I'm up. I might as well text people at like 3 a.m, and people reach out and they're like, what's going on? Like, there's so much light going in or coming into the earth. And certain friends will text me and say, can't sleep no matter what part of the world they're in. It's all reaching at the same time. And all that light is higher dimensional light that's coming in from God via our sun to our planet. And these are all really good things. We have some of the highest vibrational light we've ever had. I remember it was October of 23, I believe it was, when Jesus said to me, he said, hey, congratulations, you guys are anchoring in light that he tried to anchor in back during his lifetime and ended up being stopped. Or chose to. Is an interesting storyline if you guys ever want to hear about that. But for those of you that are experiencing some of the ascension symptoms, look into the medical medium work. Anthony William, like Google your symptoms and him, and he's going to be able to show you some of like the supplements and things like that to be able to help remedy that sort of thing. And heal from whatever condition that is, because typically when I find with ascension, it shouldn't be bringing major health issues, but the most it'll do is bring up the sort of like physical stuff that needs to be healed. But if you want some natural things, like at the core of of how to heal it, that will help. But we are legit headed into a time where there's so much light and the body's so upgraded that we don't have symptoms at all anymore. So for those of you that experience symptoms from all this light coming in, know it's about to be done. So anyway, if you like this, give this video a like. Be sure to subscribe and share with your friends. Bye.